So last year, the story broke that about 37 billion some fraction was found in fund made for poverty alleviation, by the way, social scheme in connection with Hajia Omar Farouk, but nothing really came out of that. Now we are learning that it became a major part of the news sometime last month, and now we are learning that about 30 billion of that has been recovered. Should we begin to say, yeah, Olukayade seems to know what is going on about? Why are you chuckling like that?
you know, Nigeria is just a drama stage. Yes, and it is good that it is playing. But the truth is that we who are watching, the spectators, are not happy. We are not enjoying the game. First and foremost, I commend the EFCC chairman for his dogged work. When the former EFCC chairman came up, we felt that he will, being a youth, that he will produce something, but at the end of the day, he looked like Magu, his former boss. And this one has come now to recover 30 billion out of 37 billion. I trust that he will also recover the remaining ones. But look at it. The people who are maltreating Nigerians from the Ministry of Humanitarian Ministry, they are beautiful women that are demonic in their heart. Because look at it, this money is supposed to go to the poorest of the poor. And these women who claim that they are mothers, they have the compassionate heart of a mother, are the ones who are laundering this money. They are the ones who are eating this money. They are the ones who are sharing this money, and they are leaving the poor Nigerians who were employed in Empower and all that common 30,000 naira per month. Those that were employed last 2 years, do you know, if I may tell you, because I have some of them who rely on me and tell me their stories. Only 4 months was paid, and the last one was paid on 23rd of December, 30,000. And all the other, out of 2 years program, you paid 4 months. So 20 months have entered their pocket. And now look at it. You have discovered all this. Farouk is still being grilled. Halima is being grilled. Edu is being grilled. You will discover that at the end of the day, this thing might not see light of day. And if this thing should sink into the drain, what is the hope of the common people? So it is an issue. I know it's it.
Okay, so here is a concern with this revelation. Several accounts linked directly or indirectly to Okwete and Umar Farouk, where that's where they found this money.
Okay.
Now you're talking about Edu, 17 billion, 500 million, 3 billion endorsed by Chief of Staff, Bajabia Amila, and you're talking about Halima Shehu, 44 billion and all of that. So now that the EFCC have talked about banks and the way this money are being transferred, I know that when you're opening an account, one of the things the account officer tells you is that how much is it, like the highest amount
this account can carry
in this account. Sometimes you say you don't really know. They will say, oh, there's need to peg it. Because when a certain amount of money enters into that account, you'll have to put a stop on it.
Yeah.
Now, with this level of atrocities in the name of financial crime being committed against the masses, you just talked about the Empower and we're talking about the social register. This is one ministry that someone with a human heart should be heading. But unfortunately, from the time of the creation of this and to the second, remember during the COVID-19, it was like, how are you feeding children who were at home? Nigerian raised several alarm. Nothing or none of this touched the Buhari government. And then suddenly, we have another one. We have a Halima of 44 billion. We have an Edu of 17 billion, 500 million, and 3 billion. Just figures being bandied about everywhere. We are not worried to say that if the banks, being Nigerian banks, can be used to perpetrate such crimes against the Nigerian masses, what can be done to ensure that the policies of accounting process in terms of finances in the bank accounts, certain bank accounts can be checked? What can be done to ensure that a bank cuts in the mix of this? Because in all fairness, walking into a banking hall, you cannot say you don't know who your customer is because you have their database. Every bank that I have done business with have my database. They know what I do. They ask you all these questions. A particular bank will ask you questions that what I was wondering, what do you need all of this for? So if all of these policies are in place, so the banks are still being used to portray this crime, what do we now need to do to ensure that when such crimes are committed, the banks are held liable as partners in the crime being committed?
Remember that the banks control the financial economy.
We agree.
And in Nigeria, now money they talk. Now this is where we need to understand some of these things. Nigerian law is meant for the poor. Please, whether you like it or not, Nigerian law is meant for the poor. When a poor man goes to bank to open an account, I went to Stanbic IPT to open a certain current account. If you see requirements, in fact, when I brought some of the referees, they at a point they called me that they did not accept this, they did not accept it. I left the thing and the little money I kept there. I left the bank. I said, what kind of stress is this? What kind of stress? You are putting me through these stresses. At the end of the day, they still use you to launder money. Why should I? In fact, all you need to do is that since you are now doing it, anybody that comes, let him write his name and give you his picture. You give him you generate an account number for him. Yes, because look at last year or thereabout, there was an online scheme, something that I think by name Hive was using Wema Bank to defraud people.
Okay, let's
and when you go to that bank to ask questions, they'll tell you we don't know them. We don't know them. And look at it now.
But they had accounts in the bank.
They have account with you. You're supposed to have all their details as you had mine. Why is it that you are demanding my details when I come to open account with you? You catch all my fingerprints, you do everything, you get all my biometrics, but when it comes to these people, you don't know again. Okay, look at billions of naira. We are hearing that these people were moved. Okwete and Farouk having how many bank accounts, and all this money were going into their accounts, and nobody was talking. EFCC was not seeing it. Banks, they say, well, if they want to move some money to me, if they are transferring above 5 million, EFCC should be involved. How come that EFCC does not know when billions are entering these things? You see that these things are game. They are all scam. Yes, they are all scam. If they are not, thank God for the new EFCC man. If he can be able to capture all these monies, I still pray that he should be able to. When a certain money exceeds a certain amount and you are not put in the know, please go after the sender and the receiver. Yes.
Okay.
Let the person explain to you the source of the money and what the money is meant for.
Okay.
Until we begin to tell ourselves the truth, things will continue to go this way in Nigeria.